Hey, it's Dennis. Listen, I've been getting some responses or some comments to my videos, and I've decided that going forward I would make a short video to respond to each one of those comments. Some of them are just words of encouragement. Some are actual questions about the video or, you know, other things that my viewers want answers to. And so if you do have any questions that you'd like a specific answer to, feel free to drop a comment on any of my videos. I get an email each time someone comments, and I'll try to make a video response to give you a detailed answer and my best advice on maybe what you should do or what some options are. So let's jump in and take a look at one right now. This is a comment from Pieter. It came through about a month ago. It's actually the comment that inspired me to start making some response videos. I apologize, Pieter, for taking so long to reply, but at the time this came through, I was fighting a battle with COVID, and I'm happy to say I finally beat that battle, and I am feeling well today. So I wanted to get a response out to you, and thank you so much for the comment. Here's what it says. So I'm trying to put into practice what I'm learning here, especially regarding material. Was moving some material around in the workshop today because things ain't organized, and the boss told me I must stop trying to run the company. Didn't know those specific items was for an upcoming project because nothing gets communicated to me. Family-run companies are the worst to work for. Only thing keeping me with them is the good pay. Great comments, Pieter. Look, I think that a lot of other people who watch my material are probably going to experience, the same thing. And so let me start off by reciting a quote that I heard years ago. And it goes like this. It's hard to soar with the eagles if you're hanging out with the turkeys. Okay? And the sad truth is that as you study to improve yourself, to make yourself a better employee, to climb the ladder of success, at some point, depending on the company that you're working for, you might outgrow them. Okay? If this is a small shop and they haven't invested the time to educate themselves, you could easily pass them up in knowledge and, techniques. And, it's something that I had to learn in my youth because I was in that very same position. Even though, when I was younger, I worked for a small company. I loved that guy to death. And he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about my trade, the mechanical part of it, assembling the pieces and, how best to do that. But when it came to actually managing crews, and I started studying and learning how to do that, I passed him up because he was a small shop. The projects weren't that big, and he really didn't have a high demand for the skill set that I developed, if you know what I mean. So there's a couple of strategies in life. Employers like employees who come to work for them and spend 30 years there and never leave. They love that. They love dedicated employees who show up every day, and do their job and stay with them for 30 years or 20 years or whatever. Personally, I was never that type of employee, and the reason I wasn't is because for me, I was looking for the project. I wasn't looking for the company. I wanted the opportunity to work on different and larger scale projects to develop my skills and improve myself and make myself more valuable. I'm not telling you that that's the best strategy for you. You got to decide what works best for you. But every couple of years I was ready for a change. I had conquered the company that I was at and the types of projects that they did, and I wanted to go bigger. And it took me a while, but I finally realized I'm not going to get those opportunities to work on those larger projects if I'm working for a company that doesn't do that scale of project, if you know what I mean. And from my perspective, here's how I feel about it. It's great to have employees who are dedicated and show up to your company for 30 years, but what do they learn? They learn what you know and what you ask them to do. Personally, I've been through, a ton of companies. It gave me the opportunity to see and learn things from all kinds of different perspectives. Where someone who's been with a company for 20 years might know 4 or 5 ways to do something, I can offer 20 because I've seen a different things, a lot of different things. And I think there's value in that. It's why, for the last 10 or 11 years, I've been self-employed because, I got tired of being scrutinized for changing companies every couple of years as I tried to refine and develop my skill set, the skill set I was interested in, which is, managing larger and larger projects. And so by being self-employed, now I'm just working for different companies, and that's what companies do, right? They don't just work for the same company forever. Try to diversify a little bit and develop a client list, at least a handful of different contractors or whatever. So that kind of took that stigmatism away from me of being an employee who jumps jobs every couple of years. I never, I always kind of thought of it like I'm looking for a date, not a marriage. As long as you've got interesting projects to throw in front of me and you give me the opportunity to work on them and I can learn new and different ways of succeeding, that's where I want to be. But once I climb past that, I'm ready to go up a level. And, as long as I'm talking about that, let me tell you this. Don't underestimate yourself and don't undervalue yourself. Took me a long time to figure out that, you know what, Dennis, you are a very qualified worker. I always went to work for a new company and I thought, oh boy, this is a way bigger company than I've ever worked for before. I'm really going to have to, work hard to prove myself here. Nonsense. What I found out every time I went to work for a new company is, I'm a pretty motivated guy. I have been very interested in building and refining my skill set and to make myself better and better. And most of the people at those bigger companies, they don't have those goals. They're the 30-year guys who just do the same thing every day. They show up and do what they're told. I had drive. I had ambition. I passed them up in every company I ever went to. I went right to the top. I'm not the kind of guy who stayed there 30 years, but for the 2 years or 3 years that I was with them, they were damn happy with the results they got out of me. I'll tell you that. It's gotten to the point now in my business where I won't even work for someone until I vet them out. Because I don't want to go backwards. And I'm working for a company right now on a very large project. It's a $55 million solar project. And they called me, I don't know, it was over a year ago, and said, hey, we got your number from so-and-so. They, highly recommended you. We got a project we'd like to, consider using you on, and we'd like you to come in for an interview. And I said, well, look, I'm on a small project to be wrapped up pretty soon. I could sneak out of here before I make any commitments to work for you. I need to come out to one of your job sites, and I need to spend about a week there to see what your processes are and, how you manage your projects and things like that. Because to be honest with you, if I'm going to take on a project that's going to, move for maybe a year or so, I need to make sure that we have the same strategy and philosophies on how best to build that project. So they said, come on out. So I went out and spent a week with their, I'm not sure what his title is, but the main construction director, I guess. And, they were a little bit behind in technology or processes, but it was a company that was growing fast, and they were at least tracking things. And so I took the time and I showed them, look, if I build a project for you, here's exactly what's going to happen. And I didn't hold back on anything. I've seen what you do now. I'm going to show you what I do, and you're going to have to make the decision if you still want me to work for you. And when I did this, I kind of went on a little vacation. I actually had some work out in California. I stopped and saw my kid in Colorado afterwards. Went out to California, did some work there. While I was there, they called me back and said, hey, we'd like you to swing into our office, our main office, on your way home, and I want you to talk to, I think it was like the CFO of the company or something. And so I swung in there, and then I did another presentation. I said, look, if I work for your company, here's exactly how I'm going to manage your project. And I was very detailed, step by step, how it was going to happen. And I said, if I can't do this, I'm not interested. And if I can do this, I would be interested. So, we talked some more, and I accepted a position there. And I was on my way back to Florida, and one of my clients called me. I promised to manage a project for them if they had won it. And I thought that, they had not won it. But I get this surprise phone call on the way home. Hey, by the way, we got that project and we got to get started on it now. And I had to call this other company back and say, hey, I know I just told you I'd come to work for you, but, I got this phone call and I've got to pop off this, probably 6-month project in Florida. And they waited for me. They said, okay, no problem. Let us know when the job's done. And when it was done, then they, brought me in. And that's where I'm at currently. And so they actually sent me to a project over in Texas just to kind of get more familiar with their procedures and stuff. And so the gist of all this is that what I found out is that they're way behind me. I feel like I'm stuck in a 1982 time warp with these guys. I've made suggestions to them, and it's like, it's like they don't even understand what I'm talking about. And it's been very frustrating. I gave a commitment to manage this project, and I will see it through because, that's something that I just do. Beyond that, I may not be interested. I'm still talking and trying to get them to understand that there's better ways to do things that could eliminate some of the problems that they're having. And it's going to be a challenging year for me if they don't start to listen. At some point, my hands are going to be tied, and I'm just not going to be able to help them. All I'm going to be able to do is, what they ask me to do. So the reason that I brought this up is, throughout your career, there's going to be these traps and things that, with companies who just don't really measure up to your skill level, and you'll have to decide, how you want to deal with that. I know what I would do. I'd go up a notch in companies and take the knowledge that you've learned and put it to use there, and try to, accelerate your own career, I guess. If you're comfortable where you're at, by all means stay there. But if you want to be able to, build your skill set and build your value and capture, higher pay, a move to a little bit higher caliber company might be your best bet. So, I hope that gives you some things to talk about. You have to digest all of that, and you have to decide how or if you want to apply that in your own life. But those are just some of the things that I've encountered in my life, and how I've dealt with them. So thanks again for posting. I really appreciate it, Peter. Love to hear more from you. Let me know how things develop for you. Always interested in hearing from people and continuing a relationship, and hearing how your career advances. So thanks again. Thanks a lot. For those of you that don't know, I am currently offering a 12-day challenge, is what I'm calling it. It is a series of videos that will teach you the skills you need to manage projects better, to become a foreman, and to become a successful foreman. The goal is to help you develop your skills so that you can climb the ladder of success and make more money. If you'd like to join that, all you need to do is surf over to my website, Estimateguard.com. Come down to this button right here and just click on it. It'll pull up a form. Give me your email address and your name so I know where to send the videos. Once you do that, just click yes, let me in. What will happen next is it will automatically send you an email and say, hey, thanks for signing up for the free Foreman Training, and please verify your email. I need you to verify your email because I do, like everyone else, get a lot of spam and bots and stuff like that. So if you'll just verify your email, then the system will know It is a valid email. It'll start sending you a video every day for 12 days of free training. At the end of that training, you'll have a good understanding of everything I think you need to know to start managing projects. Now, if you're like me, I'm very reluctant to give anyone my email because then I get spammed with a bunch of stuff. I'll just tell you that I'm really not that sophisticated. I don't send things out every day and whatever. One thing I will do, however, is I have been working on an advanced foreman class. So this free foreman teaches you all the skills that you need in order to be a good foreman, in my opinion. So the advanced foreman training then takes all of that information and shows you step by step how to use it and how to implement it on a real project, and just start putting all of those skills into use. So what I was getting at is I'm getting very close to having that completed. Once I do, I will send you an email at your email address and just say, hey, I've completed that course. It's ready to go. If you'd like to sign up, here's how you can do it. So I will stay in contact with you as I develop more material and can offer it to you. But other than that, I'm not a big marketing guy. I'm just an electrician like you. So anyway, if you'd like that free training, head over to my website, Estimateguard.com, click on the button, shoot me your email. We'll get you plugged into an automated system, and it'll send you a video every day for 12 days. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate all of you.